on days we gon' walk it out and move on days. And I'll rise like the day. I'll rise up, I'll rise unafraid. I'll rise up, and I do it 1,000 times again.
What's up, everybody? It's your girl Brenda, aka Breezy, and I'm back with more of the Brenda Sanders story. Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning in. If you have not done so, please like, subscribe. Don't forget to leave a comment and turn on that notification bell. You don't want to miss a story. Now, we're going to catch a vibe, get right into it. Y'all, okay, so I told y'all about me losing my virginity with Michael trifling ass. Well, after that, I began to self-sabotage. And what I mean is, I jumped down that rabbit hole and I liked the feeling of being wanted. I liked the feeling of being needed, even if it was a damn lie. You know, that's what I needed, and I liked it. So as I said, you know, I began to become that girl. I was that girl, 13, 14, I was that girl. And once everything that I needed wasn't reciprocated, and I still had this empty feeling inside. I was still so broken, so torn. I began to cut myself. And first, I don't know why, I just wanted to hurt myself. Like I felt so hated, so betrayed. I hated everybody around me. I hated myself. Everybody else hated me. And I just began to cut myself. And for a while, nobody knew. But time would go on, and every time something would happen, I would cut myself. That's what I did. And one day, I can't quite remember how my mom found out, but she did. She found out, and I would cut my legs, but it wasn't deep enough to scar me for life. You know what I mean? At that time, I was just beginning to get into sabotaging myself and hurting myself. So, it was kind of like just slices, so I would slice myself. And she found out. And when she found out, she called my caseworker. And immediately they jumped into action and they took me to do a 72-hour evaluation. So during this evaluation, what they're doing, they're putting you through all kind of psychological tests. All kind of emotional stress tests, all kind of tests to see if you're like mentally stable enough to be in the free world. Well, they decided I wasn't. So they kept me past the 72 hours. They kept me on I think the first time was a 60-day. They put me on a 60-day inpatient program. So every day, my life consists of getting up, introducing myself, telling people how I felt, my goal for the day, taking medicine, of course, educational, recreational, things like that. And that was pretty much it. And while they thought that was helping me, it really wasn't, because I was already to the point where I didn't give a damn about nothing. I didn't give a damn about me. I didn't give a damn about you. I didn't give a damn about life. I didn't give a damn about anything. So to put me in that, it kind of just messed me up even more. At the same time, I felt safer in there than I did in the free world, because I knew in there I was just there. You know what I mean? Like everybody else that's in there is a job. They have a job to do. They gonna do it. This is how it's gonna be. I ain't gotta worry about no fake ass love. Cause I know these people don't give a damn. I know I'm a check to them. So and that started at an early age. When I first went into my foster home, I was upset because I didn't want to leave. I didn't want to leave the shelter. I loved the shelter. You know what I mean? But anyway, so I'm in this facility and I'm going through these programs. And my introduction, I'm going to give y'all an example of how my intro had to go. Good morning, group. They tell me good morning. And I tell them, I'm Brenda. I'm here for homicidal and suicidal thoughts and tendencies. I cut myself, promiscuity, just all kind of stuff you would have to say. And I would say something like, my goal for today is to stay positive and not get upset and work harder at the program. And then in return, the therapist will go around and talk to everybody. And they would have to chime in on how they would help me reach my goal for the day. So you got, 3 months of this shit now. 3 months. So it was really just grooming me to become what I became. It never really helped me to the point where, I don't know. I already had abandonment issues, so them putting me in those facilities over and over, it ain't do shit, but pretty much turned my heart even colder, and I acted out even more. So I would go to these facilities, and I was in the facility, and while I was in the facility, I decided that I wanted to leave the facility. So me and probably like about 7 other kids got together. We decided we was going to break out the facility. So one of the security guards had came through the door and the shit was on. We fought, and we got our asses out of there. Okay, so I'm with this guy named, I don't want to put his name out there. Let's say, John Doe. So I'm with John Doe, and John Doe had some people on standby. So we get to this house, but I think they wanted us to be some hoes or prostitute. I don't know what the hell they wanted, but everybody was sleeping with everybody. And even though I was familiar with sex, I wasn't like that. You know what I mean? Like I ain't like sex. Like, no, I ain't like all that to have sex with you and then have sex with her, then have sex with him and all that. I wasn't with all that shit. So they kicked me out. They kicked me out the damn house, and now here I am. I was 13, and I done went AWOL from this little lockup facility. So now my face is on the news with these other kids. Have y'all seen them? Blah, 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 blah. So I'm at the store, and I asked this dude, I see this dude, and I ask him, I'm like, say, you got a few dollars, I'll give me something to eat. Yeah, that nigga beat the shit out of me. He wasn't with none of that shit. He was like, bitch, get away from me. Yeah, I didn't even realize how dirty I was. This is like, you know what I'm saying? This is like either the next day or the day after. Because all in all, I was gone from the facility for 3 days. 3 whole days. And, yeah, he was like, get away from me. Yeah, I was out there by myself. No food, no money, no clothes, nowhere to sleep, no family, no friends, no nothing. Just out there. Do you know how traumatizing and scary that was? All I knew to use was my body. But I done gave up my place to stay because I wouldn't use my body. So now I'm just stuck out there. Stuck out there with nothing. I wound up calling, I think I called my auntie. Some kind of way, I think I called my auntie. Some kind of way, I remember talking to my auntie. My auntie called my mom. My auntie took me back to the facility. Now, once you go back into the facility, you got to start all the way over. So if you on day, let's say you on day 32, You got 60 days. 60. So let's say you on day 32 and you break out the facility. You got to start all the way over from day one. And then when you go in, it's like your very first time going in. You got to open your mouth. You know, they lift up your arms, your boobs. You got to spread your cheeks. You know, they in your vagina. All type of degrading shit. But that's what I took myself through. And my learning experience from that, y'all, during that time in my life, I ain't had one. Yeah, I ain't have one. But what I'm gonna tell y'all what it taught me. It taught me how to pretend. Because now I'm tired of being in this shithole. I'm tired of being here. I'm tired of being doped the hell up. So now I know I gotta get out of here. You know what I mean? I can't do shit. I can't talk to nobody. And that's another thing. You can't read. They don't let you read outside magazines. You can't read outside magazines. You can't watch the news. You can't have no kind of contact with the outside. That shit was horrible because they felt like it would interrupt your treatment. And anytime they felt like you was slacking or you wasn't putting your all into the treatment, they cut off your activity. So while everybody else is having recreation hour in the TV area watching TV, you couldn't. You know what I mean? You had to stay and focus on your treatment and all this type of shit. Well, anyway, it taught me to pretend. So I began to pretend that I'm better. You know, I care. I want to work at this. I want to be better. I want to be a good child. I want to get along with my parents. I want to love myself. You know, this, that. I pretended all this shit. So day comes and I get to go. Well, before I got to go home, I had to go to court for a hearing. And then, you know, they was like, yeah, she's good pretty much. And they let me come home. And I say about maybe 60 days later, y'all, my ass was right back in another damn treatment center. I could not get my life right for shit. And it was so damning. I mean, it went from cutting myself to drugs, just all type of shit. Well, I began to be promiscuous. I was promiscuous. And my promiscuity cost me big. But we gonna get into it in the next video, y'all. Anyway, I gotta get up off this thing, so I'm finna slide. Thank y'all for catching the vibe. Follow me on TikTok, Wise Queen, YZE Queen. Facebook, Brenda Sanders. I'm finna get up outie. So until the next video, be breezy.